What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I will be going over the emotional roller coaster of when you lose your PA or your funded accounts, and especially if you lose it right before you get your payout. Now, this was a video requested by a subscriber, and I'm very thankful for the video suggestion, and I really hope that this video is helpful for you and helpful for anybody else that is watching out there, because I do know I've had my fair share of losing PA funded accounts before payouts, and it's not a fun thing to deal with, let alone having it happen over and over again. So let's go ahead and jump into this video. So this is what you could expect from the video today. I do want to shout out really quick that I am planning to have live charting sessions, and that's going to be over the weekend. Someone asked why over the weekend, and it's because I work Monday to Friday, my corporate job, so I don't have enough time in the morning to be able to actually do live trading sessions just yet. Hopefully in the future it will be more feasible, but right now just over the weekend works the best for my schedule. For the month of January, it is my birthday, so I have quite a bit of events happening, and I will be out of town. So I'm still trying to figure out the kinks of my charting sessions for this month, but just make sure you guys subscribed if you haven't already, because I'm definitely going to be doing that for 2024. So the first thing that I wanted to cover for the video is what is a PA or funded account, and this is more towards the people that may not even know about prop firms. But basically, prop firms would offer you a larger amount of capital to trade with in exchange for you to pay a small fee up front. Now, the first phase you pass is the evaluation, challenge, or combine accounts. After you pass that, then you move into the second phase, which is basically the performance account or the funded account or the sim funded account, depends on the company you're with, of what it's called. And then at this point is when you're actually able to basically make money, like from those companies, from these accounts. So for the PA or funded account, if you are able to perform really well and adhere to the rules and the requirements for a payout, then the company would go ahead and basically pay you out whatever is available for that account, or just depending on their guidelines. For me, in the future space, these are the three companies I'm trading with right now for 2024, subject to change, but this is my top three for right now. Now, the next slide is when you reach your payout, right? Because building up this emotional roller coaster, you've already passed the evaluation, you got your first PA or funded account, and the next step was to obviously get to the point of reaching a payout. Now, this is such a great time, and I definitely know firsthand experience. I was blown away and just so excited and so happy that I got my first payout, right? That I was able to get this far from all the restless nights of charting, of back testing, of reading therapy books, self-help books, going to actual therapy sessions. All of these things, I felt so accomplished, and I genuinely felt like I was just ready for more. I was ready for more opportunities, ready for more accounts, just ready to make more money, basically, right? Because that's the point of trading. And before we get into the next slide, these are some of the examples from Apex and My Funded Futures of people just killing it in the market. Obviously, there's so many more people out there that are killing it, but I just want to do a quick, snippet of some examples of people actually doing really well and being able to secure payouts. But part of the emotional roller coaster isn't, just the payout. It's when you lose the account as well. Now, I'm talking more towards when you haven't actually received the payout and then you lose your PA or funded account. This is one of the worst feelings I've ever been in. I just can't explain it. And maybe people out there that have experienced the same thing that I have experienced, that the person who requested this video has experienced, is it's just painful. And it's really an unforgettable memory. And I don't mean to be dramatic or make it more extreme than it needs to be, but that's just the simple truth. As I said earlier, all those restless nights and all those hours and hours of trading and getting to this point where you passed the eval, you got the PA and funded account, you paid for that fee, and then you worked your way towards an actual payout just to lose it right before you get it, is hard. It's absolutely hard. You can feel so many things on the spectrum of emotions, from disappointment to anger to frustration to sadness to, I don't want to say depression, but definitely anxiety, and just that you have some self-doubt that maybe I shouldn't be trading because I'm so pissed off at myself. I've been there. I mean, the screenshot you see right here is literally me. I submitted a payout request of 2K for one of my 50K accounts with Apex. And then before the payout was approved, I lost the account. I blew the account before I got the payout. Now, obviously, in hindsight, looking at it right now, and I'm sure a lot of people will probably say the same thing, is I should have just stopped trading after I submitted the payout, just wait for it to come into my bank account, and then continue to trade. But there's a lot of other things that kind of come into play that I'm sure some of you out there can resonate with me with, is that, well, one, there's active trading days needed in between every payout request. With Apex, with my example, is you have to have 10 trading days in between every payout request. So after I submitted this, obviously I need another 10 to get to the next window, and that's why I continued to trade. The second reason is I was trying to build a buffer, at least a cushion in my account, because with the account balance, it will deduct $2,000, which means I'm $2,000 less in drawdown. So I have to build it back up. And that was the goal, anyways. Take a payout, build it up, take a payout, rinse and repeat. That's the cycle, right? So it's those two main drivers as to why I didn't stop trading. And obviously, hindsight, I wish that I did stop. I wish that I took that payout and just waited for it to actually be approved. But it is what it is. And in that moment, I felt so much despair. I felt like I was being really irrational and really dumb for not stopping and not just waiting for it to come into account. So I can at least say the evaluation fee I paid for, the activation fee that I paid for is covered, and everything else is profits. I can either bank it in my personal account or I can get more challenges. I should have just done that. And it sucks. It sucks that I didn't even get the payout and I lost the account instead. It sucks that I even submitted for the payout request and then I still lost the account before I even got paid out. So really, really disappointing. But at the end of the day, I just want to tell you that it's okay. It's going to be okay. I promise that it might feel like the end of the world, but it's not going to be the end of your life. Some more examples I wanted to show you is actually this one down here from Facebook and Apex Trader Funding Group as well. But basically, this person had lost all of their PA accounts, as you can see on the bottom. They had one really solid green trading day, and then the next day they just blew it all the way through. So it happens. It can happen to one account, or it can happen all the way up to the full 20 if you have 20 trading accounts. And you're just not alone. You really aren't alone in this. And it sucks to have to say that to, in a way, feel better that you aren't alone in losing. But that's the truth of trading. You know, just to be really transparent and honest, is that losing is just all part of it. And it's how we pick ourselves back up. You know, there's actually even more examples that I included, and these are from my YouTube video comments. Some people are very, very kind enough to be transparent about their journey. And trust me, I do read all of the comments. Even if I don't respond to every single one, I do read them all. And it's touching to see that some people are willing to share their experiences when they don't really have to. You know, there's people like me that post content, long form videos, short form videos, other influencers and content creators doing the same thing. But then there's other people that may not create that kind of content, but they're still willing to post and share about their trading journey. And just to show you that you really are not alone. Influencers, content creators, and people that don't post are all alike. We go through our fair share of losses, and it's all about building ourselves back up so we're able to perform better in the future. So I promise you're not alone in it at all. You can feel free to pause this and read it if you want. You can even go through some of my previous video comments and you'll see that some people continue to share transparently how they've lost or how they've won or what they did to do better. And that's kind of in any community as well. I think as long as you're able to find people that are in the trading space who are willing to share very honestly how they're doing, it can help you realize that I was going through the same thing, and maybe I can offer some advice to them or vice versa so we can do better. Which leads me into this next slide here, that we are human beings. We were literally created to feel, to think. You know, we have a brain that works differently than animals, than other things in this world. And so for us to think that we can completely suppress or block out our emotions and our feelings 100% is absolutely crazy because it's just not possible. So, in my opinion, I think the best thing to do when it comes to losing your PA accounts, especially before you get a payout, is to at least acknowledge and recognize the feelings that you're having in this very moment. Because then in the future, should you come close to this type of feeling or in the same situation, or maybe you did actually lose your PA again right before your payout, you can remind yourself of this exact moment, this unforgettable experience of how you felt disappointed, upset, and you felt really negative about yourself, and that you'll do whatever it takes to do better so you don't have to feel the same way that you did in this very moment. There's so many emotions that you'll feel, and it's important that you don't act on them as far as doing something negative to hurt yourself or hurt others around you. Instead, I would recommend to find a way to channel these feelings in a more healthy, positive outlet. And what I mean by that is something that I touched based on at the end of 2023 to help better my mental health and my psychology and just my performance in general was to rebalance. And rebalance, it can mean building your relationships or working on passions or hobbies you have outside of trading. Maybe it's working out, playing basketball, maybe it's singing or doing artwork, anything that fills other buckets in your life so you're balanced in those areas. So the better you perform in every other aspect in your life, it will eventually pour into your trading, it will pour into your mental health, and it'll pour just to help you perform better overall as a person. And plus you'll be a better person at the end of it, right? So that's just something that I would recommend to do, that I did for myself and that I felt has helped a lot with my mental health, because I was in a really dark place. And I don't want to have to take too much more of your time, but to give you a little bit more of an inside look of where I was is, I had to do weekly therapy sessions. And I've never in my life before trading had to consider going to therapy. I've gone through my fair share of dark experiences beforehand, but not to the point where I wanted to hurt myself and I was speaking negatively to myself and thinking negatively and thinking I wasn't capable of anything. And until I met trading, all of those things happened. So I was in a really, really bad place. I was in a really bad shape. And I'm thankful you guys were very patient with me and that I was patient with myself. And I had to develop this plan that it's important to just focus on a lot of other things as well so that you're able to kind of better yourself. And then eventually, you put that extra time and effort into your trading too. So obviously, there's a lot more that I could speak on about it if you guys want me to kind of ramble on more about all of this with mental health and my plan to help me get out of that hole and everything like that. Let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than willing to make a video about it. I'm starting to get a little more comfortable about 2023 and sharing my experiences with it because it was really ugly. But basically, to wrap up everything, is that when you do look back on this unforgettable experience of losing your PA or funded account, whether it is after you got a pay or even before, just losing an account in general, even your own personal funded account, it can feel so crappy and that there's no way out of this and that maybe you're not cut out for trading. But I can guarantee you that's not the case, because with consistency and hard work and actually working on things to become better, it's inevitable to go up, right? If you look at all of the traders from the past that had started maybe 5 6 years ago, maybe even a shorter time frame of 3 years ago, they were in the same place as us, and they still are in the same places as us as far as working on our emotions, because that's an everyday battle in trading. But they started from square one like we did, and they worked their way up to become profitable, consistent traders that are either content creators in the space or they don't post content at all, but of them and that they're doing really well because they did exactly what they needed to do, is work on themselves, become consistent with hard work, and just bettering themselves in certain areas that they were lacking in. So that's going to be the end of today's video. I really hope, again, that this whole concept really helped in some way and that you really aren't alone in feeling these things and that you're not alone in losing accounts. It's a very, very common thing. If you look at the pass rate in general of trading, it's not that high for the amount of people that do well in it. So, remind yourself that, and remind yourself that you're going to do whatever it takes to not be part of the larger statistic of traders that don't make it, but you'll be the top 10% that do. I appreciate your time and support, and I do wish you guys nothing but the best and most success in everything you do. And then lastly, there is 3 promotions going on. If you guys want to check it out, it's on the screen right there. But other than that, I will see you all in the next video.